Good morning. Good morning. Hello. If you're watching this part, you're probably here on the replay. So give me a hashtag replay. Let me know that you tuned in and watched this. I'm going to give y'all a few minutes to come in here to the live, see who's on this morning, who has time to come talk about Etsy. So I was reviewing, like those of you who completed the survey when you first come into the group, and there were a lot of Etsy questions. So there'll be a lot of lives about Etsy. But I thought we would just kind of have a general conversation today about Etsy. Answer any questions those of you watching may have. As you come in, say hello. Let me know that you're watching so I know that you're here and I have an audience. And it's not just an audience of me. Not that I am not great company, but I enjoy talking to you all. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Gwendolyn. Good morning, Sandy. Hey, y'all. Y'all ready to talk about Etsy this morning? Who wants to talk about Etsy? How's everybody doing this morning? So this over here is an arrangement. I don't know if y'all are watching me on TikTok Saturday, but I made this really tall boho pumpkin arrangement. Interesting that you can't see any comments. Oh, there they are. Okay. You're from West Virginia. Well, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Hey, Sharon. I am great company, right? I'm a lot of fun. I am a lot of fun. But anyhow, so I was excited that arrangement sold on a live. That's my second big arrangement to sell. I mean, like, we're not saying like second big arrangement this week, but last year I sold a 4.5, 5 foot tall arrangement, or 4.5, about 4.5 foot tall arrangement to New York Halloween. And then that's probably what, 3 feet tall? Yeah, 3 feet tall. So that was a fun arrangement to make. Okay, y'all, we're going to talk about Etsy today. And, as the group grows, I'll continue to talk about Etsy. We'll talk about Shopify. Those are the main two e-commerce platforms I support. Max John Events is built on WordPress and then integrated is WooCommerce. So we may talk about that some, but it's a much more complicated setup. WordPress is very, very, very robust and can do a lot of things. But it's a little clunky. It's a little old fashioned in terms of the way that it does things. It, you got to think about it. WordPress was meant from a writer's perspective. And so all the things are geared towards writing. So blogging, having websites that have a lot of text and that kind of stuff on them, the formatting of text. So it has its purpose, but it can be turned into an e-commerce website with the advantage of WooCommerce, but it takes a lot more programming and coding and so forth. So if you're going to go the WordPress WooCommerce route, it's really good to have someone like me or a developer working with you to help build it out so that you get a really good website. If you want to kind of see a WordPress WooCommerce website, just go over and check out maxjohnevents.com. That's a really good, I think, example. I mean, of course, I think it's a good example. I built it. Well, myself and then my developer, Blake, because even some of the stuff that is required over there is beyond stuff that I know. So I have a developer on staff named Blake. So anything like major coding or hard coding behind the scenes, he does all of that for our team. All right, so let's talk about Etsy. The biggest question I get about Etsy is why Etsy and not just build my own website, okay? And having an e-commerce platform is all about selling and getting traffic to your page. Because what is the point of having, 100 products or 10 products, or for that matter, one product listed on a website, whether it's Etsy, whether it's Shopify, whether it's WordPress with WooCommerce, whether it's Wix, Squarespace? What is the point of having taken the time to take the pictures, make the listing, if no one's going to see it? It's just going to sit out there in space, and you're going to sit at home or wherever your office is and be like, why am I doing this? No one's seeing it. No one's buying it. Oh, woe is me. Because it takes traffic to get it there. Think about turning on the TV, turning on the old fashioned radio that I have not listened to, I feel like, in 10 years. And, ads, getting on Facebook and seeing all the ads for all the things, all the major players in the industry. They run ads to send traffic to their websites to hope that you buy things. Most of us are in the same boat in the sense that we do not have a large ad budget, or some of you may not have an ad budget at all. So if you don't have an ad budget, and when I say ad budget, at least hundreds of dollars to spend on an ad that you have researched and understood how to create, because just going into Facebook and creating an ad is not going to help you. You have to really understand Facebook ads or Google ads in order to drive traffic from that ad to your website. So if you're not going to do the advertising game, the other game is social media. And so and in that social media, that means building an audience. Ads, you capture an audience by targeting an audience, and you hope that audience, based upon all the parameters that you put into that ad, send to your website. Okay. You're probably wondering what all this have to do about Etsy. We're getting there. I promise. Stay with me. Okay. So if you're not going to do the ad game, then you're going to do the social media game. Okay. And that means whatever the social media game is on which platform. For Facebook, it's stories and reels. Okay. Stories and reels are going to build your audience. I mean, I'm not even doing that many stories and reels. And just in the stories and reels I've been doing, I mean, I've added 2,500 followers in the last month and a half. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here for it. You would think that would light a fire under my butt to do more reels and stories. I will be honest with you, it hasn't. But, hey, you never know. I may just, get crazy about, now I'm trying to, I don't know where y'all's comments are. I don't know if you're commenting. I don't know if anyone's saying hi. I can't even tell if anyone sees me. But anyhow, oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So on TikTok, it's TikTok's stories and going live will get you followers. Okay. Instagram, Reels, YouTube, good videos, and going live. So lives on Facebook is more about nurturing your audience than it is gaining followers. And what I mean by that is however many followers you have when you go live, expect maybe 1 or 2% of those followers to be in a live. Okay. So if you go live and you don't understand why no one's in there and you have 100 followers, because you should have less than one person in that live. Okay. But anyhow, so if you're like, okay, I don't really want to go live. I don't really want to build an audience. I don't really want to do the ad game. Then you don't need a website. Like, you don't need a Shopify, you don't need a WooCommerce, you don't need a Squarespace, you don't need a Wix, because all of those entities require you to drive the traffic 100% in some form or fashion. So if you're not ready to 100% commit on driving all of your traffic to your website in order to get sales, then the best thing for you is Etsy, hands down. And I know, I get it. Hey, hello, Carrie. Oh, thank you so much. Girl, we are just shrinking over here, shrinking fast, and I'm loving it. You know, because Etsy is out there advertising for you. Etsy is bringing tens of millions of eyes to its platform for you. Okay. Etsy has developed an e-commerce platform, the platform meaning the system for you. And that system includes listing your products, includes hosting your site, includes having a web address with your shop name, includes a shipping platform, um, includes the tracking information, includes sending out the emails, includes an entire messaging system. So when you think about all of that, Etsy offers you a lot, all right? And I know now because I've here recently I've set up some Etsy accounts for some clients. I know they're charging $29, like a initial fee, whatever, $29, whatever. And then they charge, I think it's now 6%. I think it's 6% processing fee. I probably should have researched that to see what it is now. 6.5%. Okay. So it's 6.5%. So I guess it went up half a percentage point here recently because it was 6% for a long time. So 6.5%. And you're like, oh, I don't want to pay that 6.5%. Really? You don't want to pay on you don't want to pay $6.50 on $100 sale for your entire system, a shipping platform, a messaging system, all your communication between you and your buyers, um, advertising. Seriously, that's your hang up. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna open up a Shopify site. Okay, well, that's $59 a month or $49 a month for the basic plan. You're probably going to have to add 5 to 6 apps to do what you want to do. That's anywhere between $10 to $30 a month. You're still going to pay a 3.5% credit card processing fee, or depending on your volume, maybe 2.75. But if you're using things like Sezzle or any of the pay over time apps, it's a little bit more. So you're still paying credit card processing fees. Oh, and you got to pay for you got to pay for your own advertising, and you got to go live, and you got to do reels, and you got to do stories. So it's like, I think I'll just have my own website. Okay, well, hundreds of dollars later a month, and you're upset paying a 6.5% processing fee. Really? All right, let's think about that. Let's do the math. So knowing what you know now, it's probably like, oh, Etsy's not that bad. It's not. I'm still on Etsy. I have 3 stores on Etsy. And what's nice is because I understand the Etsy engine, and I'm going to work with y'all a little bit today about that. I understand getting the right listing, getting the right description, filling in all the elements of a listing. I don't advertise at all that I have Etsy stores at all. I just do good listings, and then I let Etsy do its thing and drive traffic to my store. And I'm going to teach you, like, I still do all the things every day in my Etsy stores in order to keep me fresh in the algorithm and keep my store fresh in order to drive traffic to that store. But if I can continue to make money from my stores without advertising, without going live on TikTok to say, hey, I have an Etsy store, because I send all of my traffic to Shopify, to my e-commerce website. Etsy is still selling my stuff and sending me money for 6.5% a month. So if I'm not working my stores and it's sending me revenue, imagine if you really focused on an Etsy store and you were doing all the things and you were driving your own traffic to the Etsy store. So you're working with Etsy, driving traffic, Etsy's driving traffic to your store. Okay. So that's kind of some background information on like why you would choose Etsy over Shopify. If you're just getting started, please go Etsy route. Unless you're getting started and you have 8 to 10,000 followers, then sure. I would say the 8 to 10,000 follower range, and I mean that across all platforms, because I was about 8,000 followers when I decided to open a Shopify store between Facebook and TikTok. Um, so you need a good follower base if you're going to open an e-commerce website without doing a lot of advertising. You've got to have enough followers to tell them to go to your website to make purchases to make it worthwhile. Okay, let me share my screen and we'll start looking at Etsy. All right. So if you didn't know, this is what Etsy looks like now. So if you want to open an Etsy store, let me get y'all my you can click on my link. And so if you click that link, you'll get 40 free listings. I'll get 40 free listings. We'll have a great day. All right. So Etsy, let me get back over here. Let me log in. So when you go to sign in, if you don't have a sign in, then you're just going to click register here. Okay. And then you're going to open an account. Now I will say when you get ready to open an account, you need to have a lot of information with you. So let me I'm going to put this link in there so that you have all the things you need. Because I'm not going to go through that. But you need a lot of information. I don't think it's posting, but if I don't see it posting here where I should be able to post comments. Let me see if I can get to it over here. Oh, no, they posted. Okay, good. All right. All right, so let me we'll sign into my sign shop. So I have a sign shop, I have a digital image shop, and I have my wreath shop. All those shops are still over here. All right, let's click here. So once you sign in, you can this is your shop, but you can also purchase through your shop. And so if you've made purchases, this is where you go to click on purchases. And then any messages between you and a shop person are here. So these are personal messages. To get into your shop manager, you're going to click here, this little store icon. All right. And that's going to get you to your dashboard. Okay. So here's my dashboard. So let's look at it for this month. All right. So this is without me advertising. Now it's going to show down because I used to advertise. All right. So for this month, Etsy brought me almost 2,000 eyeballs, which equated to 989 visits. And so just from Etsy this month, which sales are down this month for whatever reason on Etsy for me, that's 19 orders. So let's see. It used to, a revenue, $305. So $305 from Etsy this month without me doing anything at all. Just having an Etsy store. And it, didn't cost me anything. Just my listings are in there. But I wasn't feeding the engine for a couple of weeks. So when you don't feed the engine, you start losing in the algorithm. And I'll talk to you a little bit about feeding the engine here in a minute. All right. So you go into Etsy, you've got your dashboard, you've got listings, messages between you and customers, your orders. This is something relatively new, Etsy search visibility. It goes through all your listings and determines which listings it thinks, based upon artificial intelligence, could use some help. Okay. Your stats, just to kind of see this compared to the same period last year, how many favorites, um, how many cities reached for this from June 1st to June 17th. So this is what's important. So when I decided to go to Shopify, I was bringing in almost 80% of my traffic. So when you're able to bring in like 80, 75, 80 plus percent of your traffic, then you have a good following, or you're able to get people to go to your store. That's when you start thinking about, hey, I should maybe look at having a website. Okay. Etsy right now still brings in like 61% of my traffic. Okay. Let's see, direct and other traffic. Where is this coming from? Etsy search, Etsy marketing and SEO. All right, let's see where it's coming from. All right, so I have a lot of affiliate links out there. So where that's coming from is 10 visits came from affiliate links. So like for me, if you go to shoplikejohn.com, that's an affiliate link. That's an affiliate link. That's an affiliate link. So I have a lot of affiliate links out there. Well, those are considered traffic that I'm driving. Okay. People are still watching TikToks back when I drove traffic to Etsy. So anything that is not directly coming from Etsy. So it's like this website still exists out there. People still have it bookmarked and they're clicking on it. This is another search engine. This is a search engine. So that is where the traffic that I'm driving is coming from. All right. So if you have an Etsy shop, you need to be coming over here and looking at stats and looking to see where people are coming from, where, if you're bringing in traffic, where is it coming from? All right. Etsy app and other Etsy pages, what are they searching for? So people are getting to my page, magnolia flower art. So if I know this, then this is a good tag. Do I have magnolia flower art in my tags? Flamingo sign, tropical signs, the 8-inch zip ties, police room diffuser. Some of the stuff people search for cracks me up. Large metal butterfly front door wreath, hummingbird door wreath. So this is really good information to start coming to look at for when you start building out your listings. Okay. So let's look at Etsy search. Similar, pretty much the same search terms. And this stays updated. So this was updated 5 hours ago. So I can come through here and just kind of look to see what are people searching for. And based upon the search terms, make sure I have these search terms in, see if I've missed any. Missed it. Hey, Miss Gwendolyn. Let's see. Y'all, I'm sorry, y'all's comments are, I'm having to go out and come back in, go out and come back in. You're welcome, Cindy. I heard Etsy is now pushing more digital products than physical. Do you think that's true? Here's the thing about digital products, they're unlimited. So Etsy likes multiples. Y'all have heard that for years. All right. So a digital product, a signed product like I do, there it's not going to run out unless I run out of metal. You're not going to ever run out of digital. So it loves that because it can just push that out and churn and burn and churn and burn and churn and burn and get that money and get that money. A physical product, there's typically one. So when there's just one of something, Etsy knows that because it sees it in the quantity, and it may not push that. But here's the thing: a digital product is usually pennies to dollars. They're not that expensive, and so Etsy's not making as much money, but it's making it more often. So I mean, I don't necessarily. It's not something that I've heard. I'm not going to say that I am listening to everything Etsy pushes out every day, but I think that is just along the line of multiples. Just like if you've ever had a great selling multiple in your shop, as soon as a multiple is doing really good, Etsy just turns it on fire and just you make that multiple a lot. Do we need to be yes, Cindy, I'm going to cover that. How do you set up Square to Etsy? I'll show you. I mean, I can't like show you because mine's already set up, but I'll show you where to go, Miss Gwendolyn. All right, so there's Etsy stats. So we're gonna go back and I'm not gonna cover everything on Etsy today because that could take us, for hours, but we're gonna just look at a listing. Let's just look at a listing. So let's add a listing from scratch, okay? All right. So the first thing is the category, all right? So if you sell a wreath, let's put in wreath. All right, so a wreath can be multiple things. Some people call wreaths door hangers. So maybe you sell door hangers, but you call them wreaths. So is a wreath really a door hanger that you're selling? Or is it truly a wreath? Like, is it something that's called a wreath? You could put it in wreaths and door hangers. You could put it in wall decor. I would not put it in artificial flowers because that's a craft supply. So you can choose one of these categories. Chances are you're going to choose wreath. Okay. So it knows that my top categories are signs. So it's going, why are you putting a wreath in a sign shop? But whatever. So, all right, we're going to stick with wreaths. We're going to say continue. Okay. Is it a physical item? Is it a digital item? Okay. It's a physical item. Who made it? I did. Is it a finished product, a supply or tool to make things? A finished product. When did you make it? Typically, you're going to put somewhere around 20 to 2025. Now, this is something relatively new. How is it made? How does it produce? Is it made from scratch? Is it assembled from purchased parts? So things like a necklace, a denim jacket with patches sewn on, an item that my shop alters as a t-shirt or mug, which is what I do. I alter a piece of metal. Is it, driftwood, basically? Is it a natural material? Is it a curated set of purchased goods? So is it wreath supplies, basically? But ours it's made from scratch, totally from scratch. I made it. All right. What tools are used to make this item? So like for me, my signs are made with computer tools or machines, but yours are going to be handheld or hand guided tools. So you're the one doing all the work. Or I mean, and you do use tools. You use snips, you use scissors, you use rotary cutter. If you're doing mesh, you use a lot of different things. So handheld or hand guided tools. Okay. And then so production partner is like I partner with other artists to produce my images. So when I upload their images into my shop, I choose the production partner that I have to go along with those images. Etsy needs to know all that. Otherwise, they will flag it as spam. Okay, so what's interesting is as soon as you set a category here, the category is what creates all the attributes. All right. So I'm going to switch down here to this part because I think this is very important. Another thing that I don't think people do is they put in this information, and then they go right to here because it used to not have this button, but Etsy shortened the page so that it didn't scroll forever. And you need to click here and show all attributes. All these attributes, all of these different placeholders need to be filled out if they can be filled out. Etsy has each one of these boxes here for a reason. It's a way for them to figure out who to show your listing to. Okay. If there are no flowers in here, then that's fine. You know, if there are no plants in here, that's fine. And remember, we did a wreath. So Etsy already knows this is artificial. Okay. So if you're like, well, I didn't put any, like, it doesn't say artificial boxwood, artificial cotton. It knows it's artificial because it's a wreath. But if you've got boxwood in there as a plant, as a greenery, put it in there. If you've got eucalyptus, if you've got lamb's ear, if you've got pampas grass, all these things, click it. When someone searches for a eucalyptus and a wreath, they're going to see in your description that it's an artificial wreath, that it's not live. Same thing for flower type or any of these flowers in your listing. And these are here because these are the most searched on terms for people wanting to buy a wreath, y'all. What's the style? If you're not sure about the style, then you probably should be in creative coaching and learning about styles of wreaths so that you can ask a creative coach based upon a picture of your wreath what kind of style it is. Or go search and research each one of these styles to learn what they are. All right. Does it relate to a holiday? If it doesn't, then you'll leave that blank. Okay. Occasion, if it doesn't relate to any of these other occasions, it can always be a housewarming gift. So fill in that box with housewarming. All right. If it doesn't fit one of these seasons, then it's all seasons. You catching my drift? Fill it in. Have something there. Okay. All right. So let's go back up here to the top. A title. All right. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I let ChatGPT do all the work for me because why not? Now, I do have the professional version of ChatGPT, but you'll see over here, I have Etsy list creation help. Now, this is for signs, but you could do this for wreaths too. All right. I'm going to put this in. All right. So you can train ChatGPT. So let's start a new chat. So I call my AI, well, y'all can't even see this. There we go. All right. So ChatGPT. I call my ChatGPT Sebastian. So good morning, Sebastian. What creative magic are we stirring up today? Okay, I want this chat dedicated to creating listings in Etsy for my wreaths. Remember, all Etsy listing titles need to be SEO packed, long-tailed keywords, and a maximum of 140 characters. For my descriptions, please create a 4 to 5 paragraph, 4 to 5 sentence paragraph, packed with the best SEO available currently that will drive traffic to my Etsy listing through Etsy and Google. Because the first few sentences in your listing, in your description, is what Google picks up on and brings eyeballs to your listing as well. Okay. For my tags, I want you to create 25 tags. That gives me options that are SEO packed, long tail keywords, and less than 20 characters. These tags need to be the best available SEO to drive traffic in Etsy to my listings. All right, so now I've trained it, okay? It knows what I'm looking for. We've talked about listings. We talked about the title. We talked about the description. We've talked about the tags. All right. So now all I have to do is upload a photo. All right. So let's just see what it does with that. It's not a wreath. It's an arrangement, but it's fine. Okay. So let's read through this. All right. Fall pumpkin floral centerpiece. All right. White pumpkin vase arrangement. All right. Neutral autumn table decor. Rustic fall floral arrangement. I'm probably going to add boho in here, take something out, probably fall pumpkin boho centerpiece, maybe fall pumpkin boho floral centerpiece, and we'll rework that a little bit. Elevate your fall home decor with this elegant white pumpkin floral arrangement. I'll probably add elegant white boho pumpkin floral arrangement, overflowing with soft neutral tones, burnt oranges, lavender accents. Designed with premium faux florals, dried look grasses. I like that dried look so they know they're not actually dried florals. Natural textures. This piece adds a warm, rustic charm to your dining table, mantle, or entryway. All right, see, I got to fix this. I need to put artificial foam white pumpkin because it's not ceramic. It thinks it's ceramic. Brings a modern farmhouse touch that complements a fall aesthetic. Perfect for autumn gatherings, Thanksgiving centerpieces, or seasonal gifting. This arrangement is a standout piece of handmade home decor. Each design is crafted with care to bring long-lasting seasonal beauty to your space. Okay. And then we've got, again, so I would not just copy and paste that because it's got ceramic. This is not ceramic. All right. But that gives us a start. Like this to me is a game changer in doing listings. So, all right. So let's go back to our listing. So we're going to start with this. So we're going to highlight. I'm going to Control C on my keyboard. And we're going to come here and we're going to paste this. We're going to change it up a little bit. Fall pumpkin boho. And I have enough room to put boho there. White pumpkin. I'm going to say FAUX, faux white pumpkin arrangement. I'm going to take out vase because it's not a vase. Neutral autumn table decor, rustic fall floral arrangement. Okay, perfect. All right, so here's the thing about photos. You need 10 photos. You need a video. All right. So I don't have 10 photos, but I'm going to upload this one photo. The other thing about photos is Etsy's photos are now square. Hallelujah. Because the old format was frustrating. You had to format every freaking photo in Canva. Now, y'all on your phone, learn, Google, figure out how to, if you're on an iPhone, you're going to swap up from when you're on your camera, tap 4:3, that's your aspect, tap on that and change it to square. If you're taking square photos on your phone, they're ready to upload into Shopify or Etsy. Game changer. It's just made life so much easier. So we're going to upload this photo, which is already square, which means Etsy's going to like it, because the photo size used to be rectangle and now it's square. So see, it looks perfect there. It looks perfect there. This is where like you can have different camera angles. There's only so many shots you can get from here. So maybe you have a graphic of your processing time. Let's go see what I've got on my $99 wreath store. 99wreathstore.com. All right, so see, I've got two what are called filler photos, general wreath care that I created on Etsy. So see, the photo size used to be rectangle. And thank God it's not rectangle anymore. And then I have a filler photo that says we ship your orders through UPS, USPS, within a tracking number will be emailed to you. Be sure to check your junk mail. All right, so those are called filler photos. So I do 2 filler photos, I do 8 regular photos, and then I do 1 video. Okay, and the video has to be less than like 16 seconds, I think. So you're going to want your video, you're going to want your photos. Okay. All right. So the description, let's look at my description, because some of this I will copy. All right. So there's that, there's that, there's that, there's that. So this part I put into all of my descriptions. So all of my wreaths make great gifts. If you wish to purchase this as a gift, please let me know. All right. And then I always I ship internationally. So I'll let my international customers know they're going to need to pay the duties. I don't pay the duties on those. So I'm going to take this from all of my listings and I'm going to start with that. Okay. Now we're going to come over here to this listing. But remember, we got to make some changes. All right. So that is going to go over here. All right, elevate your photo with this elegant white, this elegant boho white floral paint overflowing with burnt oranges, designed with premium faux floors, dry look. This faux white pumpkin brings, get rid of the vase. Okay, so there's my listing. If for some reason, maybe on that pumpkin, you would vinyl their name on it, or vinyl their last name, or vinyl a monogram. That's where you would add personalization. So the price, about $185. I have one. If I use a SKU system in my inventory, I would add a SKU. We've already done the details. All right, so wreath embellishments, burlap cotton, fabric, feather, felt, lace, paper, paper shell tool. I don't have any of those embellishments. Primary color, I'm going to say white. I'm going to say beige. If there's a secondary color, we'll say there's some orange in there. All right. The width, I did not, it's already sold. I did not measure it, but probably 14. The height was probably 1236. Oh yeah, you need to choose a unit, inches, inches. The depth, so how far back it sits, was probably about 12 inches. So this is probably, well, we'll just say 14 by 14. And then the height is 36. Is there a diameter? We'll just say 12 because that's going to be the width across. The width and the diameter is pretty much the same, but this is a circle. So shape, circle, flower type, baby's breath, cherry blossom. There is a hydrangea in there. All right. Plant type. There is some pampas. There is a pumpkin and gourd. All right. Wreath type, artificial. Style, bohemian. Occasion, housewarming. Holiday, don't really have a holiday. That's okay. Season, fall. All right. So all of my attributes that I could possibly fill in are here. Okay. The other interesting thing I want y'all to know is if we have keywords in the title, and then we have different keywords here in the description, we don't need to repeat those keywords necessarily in the tags. We want as many different keywords as we possibly can pack into this listing. Okay. So let's come over here and let's look. We have 13 options to get more SEO into this listing, more keywords into this listing for Etsy to send it out to the right eyeballs. All right. So let's see. Autumn centerpiece. That's a really good one. Let me just copy that. And then you hit enter. All right. Lavender fall decor. Because people are going to be looking for purple in everything. Don't forget your L. All right. So you would just continue to add more and more of these listings. Materials. Okay. Foam. Pumpkin. And this is where you can say, we've already said pampas grass. We can add foam pumpkin, Spanish moss. I don't remember what was all in there. There was some yucca, Lyptus, eucalyptus. I missed something. There we go, eucalyptus. There was some fern. No, I'm trying to remember what all was in there. There's a lot. Oh, leaves. Corn husks. Maple leaves. Corn husks. All right. So we could do 6 more. You need to create a shipping option. Shipping would be a whole nother conversation, but you can create a shipping option here. I would never let Etsy calculate it for me. We could do a whole conversation about shipping, how to determine your shipping, how to get your average shipping price, how to fix all that. That could be a whole nother conversation. What's your origin zip code? How long does it take you to process it? So once they order it, how many days is it going to take you to ship it? What shipping service are you going to offer? What's the fixed price? If you're going anywhere else, so like if you're shipping in the United States, if you're not shipping anywhere else, then you need to delete that. Are you going to offer any upgrades? So typically this is standard shipping. So like, let's just say USPS ground. All right. Well, what if someone says, or actually, no, I only ship UPS. So UPS ground for my reads. And then if I said, okay, well, I'll offer you express. We'll say UPS secondary A, we'll say, or 1 day. So I would need to do, we'll just say UPS Express. I would need to calculate and figure out what would Express be for a wreath and what's the average Express price if I want to give my customers a Express upgrade. If not, we just delete it and move on. You can save this as a shipping profile and just call the shipping profile wreaths or arrangements or swags or whatever it is that you sell, and then cancel. I'm not going to actually do this. And then what section is it going in? So that's a whole nother conversation on shop sections. I'll leave this to automatic so that the listing never expires. I mean, it's 20 cents, y'all. I think you're okay. And then once everything is ready to go, you're gonna click publish. Okay. And then once it's published, it's out there ready to go. All right, we're not going to save that. All right, let me see if there's any more questions. Oh, yeah. You can't see. Ha, 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 ha. All right, sorry, y'all. Are like, you're talking, John, but we can't see anything. And you can't see these comments. Okay. Let's start over. All right. So we're going to go over here to Etsy and we're going to create a listing. We're going to add a listing. All right. So we're going to search. We're going to say wreath. And y'all are still with me. I'm impressed. I'm surprised y'all didn't go, we have no idea what you're saying and you're talking and this isn't fun. All right, wreaths. Continue. I made it a finished product. I made it in 20 to 25. It's from scratch. It's a wreath. I do use tools and I do not have a production partner. I think we covered this before. So we got that part done. All right. So our title came from doing this in ChatGPT. All right. So we're going to scroll down here and we're going to copy our title. All right, we're going to put our title in. But remember, we're going to change up this title a little bit. So not just white pumpkin or not, let's see, floral pumpkin fall center place. It'll be floral or fall pumpkin boho. We want to get boho in the title. White pumpkin arrangement because vase, we don't need vase. All right, so we still have a few more characters. Fall pumpkin, fall faux pumpkin, boho floral centerpiece, white pumpkin arrangement, neutral autumn table decor, rustic fall. All right, so we've used almost all of those. Okay, so let's talk about photos again. All right, you need up to 10 photos, okay? So right now I only have that one. And if you watch the previous part where I was talking about this, I wasn't showing you. This needs to be a square photo, okay? So whether you're on an Android or whether you're on an iPhone or whether you're using an iPad, Google figure out how to swipe up on your camera and change the aspect ratio. By default, it's usually 4:3. okay? But you want to change it to square. The great thing about what Etsy did not too long ago was change all of their photos from rectangle to square. It made life so much easier for us because we didn't have to go to Etsy or go to Canva anymore and resize everything. It was really frustrating because I had Shopify and Etsy, and I could use Square and Shopify, and then I had to resize it for rectangle and Etsy. But now everyone uses Square, which is really, really nice. And Square, when I say Square image, 1080 by 1080, that's the pixel size. So in Canva, 1080 by 1080. You want all 10 pictures. I think hopefully in the previous video we talked a little bit, you could see that, but if not, you want 10 photos. So let's come over here to one of my listings. All right. So here's this over the top elegant purple wreath that I would, if I made this again, it would look so much better because my skills are so much better than when I made this. But I have 10 photos. I have 8 photos of the wreath. I have a video of the wreath. But then I have some filler photos. So a filler photo meaning something that's not a picture of the wreath. There's only so many pictures you can take of a physical object. So this is called a filler photo. So a filler photo is like general wreath care. All right. A little bit of information about how we ship something. Okay. You just want to make sure that you fill in all 10 photos and the video. Etsy likes everything that you can possibly fill out in a listing filled out. Okay. The more information that it has in the title and the photos and the video and the description and all the attributes, the better it will send out your listing to the right eyeballs. Okay. So our description, the bottom part of my description on everything is the same. I ship internationally, so international customers need to know that they will be paying the import duties, taxes, and fees, not me. And then there's just a little more information. So I'm going to start my description there. All right. Now we're going to come over here to copy this. Enter. Left click, paste. All right. But this has some stuff in it that is not accurate. It's not a ceramic. It's a faux foam pumpkin. It's not a vase. Elevate your fall home decor with this elegant boho. All right. That looks good. Personalization would be like if you have a Cricut or if you have a way to personalize this pumpkin, maybe you could add their last name. Maybe you could add a monogram. Then this is where personalization is going to come in. So I charged $185 for this. I have one. A SKU would be if you keep up with all your wreaths on a SKU system. So like fall white pumpkin. All right. Variations would be like, hey, I have this, the top of this is the same, but the bottom, like I have a orange pumpkin, I have a white pumpkin, I have a cream pumpkin, I have a black pumpkin. But typically we don't have that unless maybe you have the same wreath. Maybe you change out the bow. So that's what variations are. We've already done the details. And because we chose wreaths opened up certain attributes. Okay. So I don't have any of these. I don't have a burlap bow, a cotton bow, a fabric bow. I don't have any feathers or felt or lace or paper or pearl or shell or tulle or wood. So I don't have any of those in my wreath. We'll say beige and white. All right. The width was probably 14. The height was, I think, 36 inches. Okay. Now, you're going to think, okay, I'm just going to go here to the next box and put in my tags. No. You always need to click here, show all attributes. What's the depth? Well, the depth's pretty much the same as the width, so 14. The diameter is, if it's a circle, Well, this is a circle in the sense that it's a pumpkin, so I can just put 14 again. What's the shape? It's a circle. What's the flower type? Do I have any of these in here? I have a hydrangea in there. That's all I got in there. What's the plant type? I have some eucalyptus. I have some fern. There's some ivy in there. There's moss. There's pampas grass, pumpkin gourd. All right. Too many. All right. We'll get rid of moss. Oh, I can only have 3. There. Wreath type, artificial. Style, bohemian eclectic. Occasion. What's the occasion? Anybody remember? If it's not a real occasion, what could the occasion be? Anybody? While y'all are thinking, holiday, it's not specific to a holiday. Season, fall. All right. Tags. So we have a lot of places. So each and every one of these, the title, the description, all of these different attributes, all go into keywords that Etsy is going to use to bring eyeballs to you. The first few sentences in the description is what Google is going to pick up on to bring eyeballs to you. Okay. Now we have 13 tags. We want to use these tags for new keywords, new SEO. We don't want to repeat the same things that are already throughout the listing because that would be wasted space, wasted opportunities. Okay. Sandy Kelly for the win. House warming. Absolutely. All right. So when we have our tags, that's why I said, give me 25 tags. Give me options. So I can either find one of these that I really like, or I can mix and match Sebastian's ideas to create new, unique combinations of words that aren't already in my listing. Autumn centerpiece, good key word. All right. I'm going to do Thanksgiving decor. So Thanksgiving decor. Rustic table piece. This sounds good. Does not go in materials. All right. So you would just continue to follow that process for all 13 tags. Okay. Materials. What else is in this wreath that I haven't already told them is in the wreath? Well, there's a faux pumpkin. There is Spanish moss. There is spray foam. There is hot glue. There is fern. ARTIFIC, artificial fern. Artificial corn husks. And now there's pampas grass in there. Oh. Artificial leaves. And then I'll just say artificial greenery. All right. Shipping. Okay. So shipping, we need to, if you don't already have a shipping profile, which I do, but none of these fit, these are all for signs, then you're going to create an option. Always enter fixed prices. We'll do a whole nother class on shipping in terms of how to determine your average shipping rate. But always say you'll enter fixed prices manually. Do not let Etsy calculate shipping. United States, your origin zip code, processing time. How much time do you need to prepare an order and put it in the mail? All right. So I always keep mine the recommended 1 to 2 days. So if this is something you've already made and you know you can ship it out within 24 hours, do 1 day. But 1 to 2 days is what Etsy recommends. If you're going on vacation and you don't want to set your shop to vacation mode, then you can do custom range and say maybe it's going to take you 7 to 10 days. All right. So when I travel, I'll extend this out. This will slow down my shop because Etsy's going to go, well, if it's going to take this long for him to ship it out, let me show these people a listing that has a shorter ship range. This is also a way to kind of, if you are overwhelmed, like you have so many orders, you can't get to them, but you don't want to turn a listing off, then come out here and extend the processing time. That will, what am I trying to say? Regulate your shop better in terms of how fast orders are coming in. So it's a way to, there's a manufacturing term that's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. Throttle. So you can throttle your orders up and throttle your orders down. So you can kind of throttle your business by changing your processing time. Shipping service. So shipping service, I only ship my wreaths UPS, but that's because I have a UPS hub here in Louisville. So my rates are really, really good. FedEx might be better for you. Me personally, unless it's going to Hawaii or Alaska, I never ship a wreath USPS. But USPS for Alaska or Hawaii is a hell of a lot better rate than FedEx or UPS. I don't know why. I don't make the rules. All right, so UPS ground. There are a million different ideas around free shipping or not doing free shipping. I do not do free shipping, at least on my wreaths. Sometimes I'll do it on my signs. I kind of going back and forth. If I do free shipping, I do it in my Shopify site. I don't do it here on Etsy. I believe a customer should know that shipping is not free for me. Shipping costs me money. Now, if it costs me $25 to ship a wreath, I don't put all $25 here in shipping. I only charge them $15 to ship a wreath, and I put $10 into the price of the wreath so that at least the shipping isn't too cray-cray, but it's not free. All right. But if you think if you believe in free shipping, by all means, put this sucker on free shipping and go for it. But hopefully you have enough profit margin in your wreath that you're not eating shipping. By eating, that means absorbing it into your business and losing money. This is going to be for all 50 states. All right. This is anywhere else. If you don't want to ship anywhere else, delete it. Do you want to offer them express service? So express means expensive. So if you're going to offer them express, then you can come down here and I can say UPS Express. But I need to have done my homework and know what is express going to cost me and make sure the customer knows that express is expensive. So, but if you want to pay $80 to get this in 1 day, I'm not going to keep you from it, but just know that this is what it's going to cost you. If you want to add a shipping upgrade, you can. If this is the first time you've completed a shipping profile, then you can save it as a shipping profile, and maybe you would just name this wreaths. All right, but we're not going to do that. All right, so we got our shipping. You're going to put in your the weight of the item, and this is the weight of the item shipped. And where this is going to come in handy is when if you're using a shipping platform like Pirate Ship or Shippo or ShipStation, this weight will push over into that system so that you don't have to retype the weight. When it's packed, so what is the size of the box that it's going to go in? Again, that will push over into your shipping system. Or if you're going to create your label on Etsy, this will already be in there. Do you allow returns or exchanges? By default, I do not. So it knows that I don't, but you can change the policy. You can create a new policy here that you do accept. What are the terms? All right, so, but I do not. What shop section is it going in? That's a whole nother Etsy training, but it can go into a shop section. And then for renewal options, I always select automatic. By default, it's going to select automatic. Automatic just means that every 3 months, it's going to automatically charge you 20 cents to have that listing in your shop. Okay. If it's set to manual, that listing will expire. And in 4 months, you're wondering why the listing isn't there and why no one is buying it. And that's because you let it expire. So if you can't afford 20 cents every 4 months, I hope you're in business coaching asking a lot of questions. All right. So at this point, we would hit publish and it would go out and go into the ether and do all the things and start being seen. And it would show up on I'm going to cancel this, discard. So once it's published, it shows up here on our main page. All right. All right. So let me see if there's any questions. All right. Anybody have any questions before we hop off of here? Y'all ask the questions and I will just keep refreshing until maybe I see the question. Oh, yeah, Square. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Just a minute. Darren's texting me. All right. Let me share my screen again. Okay. Okay, let's go back to Shop Manager. So Miss Gwendolyn, down here, like over on the left-hand side of your Etsy store, you're going to see down here under Sales Channels, either Set Up Square. Probably yours is going to say Set Up Square, Add Square. you're going to connect your Square account. So you're just going to log into whatever Square account has the information that you want in it, or whatever information you want to push your shop information to. And then once you've connected your Square account, all right, then you're going to sync your listings. And then all of your listings that are currently in your shop will sync over to Square. And what that means is if you are at a craft show and you're using Square as your point of sale POS system, when they go to buy a wreath at a shop, at a craft fair, or wherever it is you're using your Square app and your Square reader, it will come out of your Etsy inventory, but it'll also count as a sale. So it'll count here as a sale, but it's not gonna charge you. It'll charge you 20 cents, but you're not gonna pay any of the processing fees because you're paying Square's processing fees. All right, you're still paying processing fees, you're just paying somebody else's. But if you sell at craft fairs and craft shows, it's a great way to have all your listings on Etsy and at the craft fair, and also get credit for the sale at the craft fair, and also manage inventory. Okay. All right. Let me go out. Let me refresh. Let me come back in. Let me see. This was so helpful, John, especially the AI part of it. Oh, you're welcome, Hallie Sue. I'm so glad you liked it. I wish Facebook would figure out this comment stuff. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? And it doesn't have to be about Etsy. While you have me, you can ask me other questions as well. Other business questions. I'll do about 10 minutes. 10 minutes for more questions. If you get an order from Alaska or Hawaii, how do you let the customer know about the increase in cost? You can put it in your description. So how I put in the description the information about international customers, you can put information in the description about that there will be an increased cost for shipping to Alaska and Hawaii. All right, y'all. I don't see any more questions. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all soon. Bye, guys.